Hey guys, so the school year is upon us, or will be very soon for some people, and if not, then this video is not so topical, and I'm very sorry. But I thought we would talk about things that you should know before going back to school, or like right at the beginning of going back to school. Just things that will help you get through the year. The first thing is your ensemble audition does not define you. It may be great and that you might end up in a really good ensemble, but that means you still have to do the work and you still have to put in the effort and learn and everything like that. Just because you made the top ensemble doesn't mean you're any better than anyone else. And if it was bad, that doesn't mean that you're a bad player. It just means you had one bad audition. Um, and honestly, ensemble placements tend to be more about where you'll learn than how good you are. That's not always true. It depends on the school and the teacher. But a lot of the time it's more like, hey, I think you'll be good. I think you'll learn a lot if you're second flute with this person in this orchestra. Or I think you playing piccolo for a semester would be great. And also think about, like, also remember this isn't a permanent position. Um, your chances are you're going to change every semester or every year, depending on what school you go to. So you can change your ensemble placement pretty easily. The next thing is, even if you have a terrible ensemble placement, make sure that you collaborate with other people and make sure that you do a lot of other take the other opportunities that are given to you. Some of you might know that I wasn't super happy with my placement last year, second semester, but I took the time and did a ton of collaboration with composers. I did a lot of chamber. I did ad hoc ensembles. I just said yes to everything and ended up with a really great semester with a lot of really, really fantastic opportunities, some of which paid. So it's a really great chance to work on some other things and work on your own playing. And that's three, listen to your teacher. I know that seems really obvious, but like sometimes we don't because we think that we know more than our teachers, and the truth is you don't. um, there might be some things that you're better at than your teacher, which will happen, and that's kind of the goal that your teacher has, is to get you to the point where you're better than them. But for now, and for most things, they know better. So listen and do what they say. Um, four, do lots of things. Don't just focus on one thing. Like, obviously, everyone knows that I'm a contemporary specialist. That's what I want to do. That's what I love to do. But if someone asked me to play Baroque opera, aka this summer, I'm going to say yes. Also, in my lessons, I'm working on Baroque, I'm working on Romantic, I'm working on Impressionist, I'm working on a lot of things, so that way I'm well-rounded. Because obviously my strong suit is contemporary, but I don't want to have to turn down a gig just because I can't play Telemann or whatever. I want to be able to do everything. So diversifying what you do is really great. I think I'm on 5. So 5 is listen to your friends and also your peers and everyone else that you're working with. Everyone has their own view of what you're doing and what they're doing, and everyone has their own strong suit. So, like, I'm always asked about contemporary rep, how to do certain techniques and things like that, because that's what I'm really good at. And there's a girl who I know very well who is a Baroque flutist as well as a modern flutist, so I will ask her about style things and things like that. Like, use your peers and the people around you to help you get more information, and also to help you get more information about the structure of the school, or what you're supposed to be doing, or how to get your music, things like that. There's lots of things that people don't always talk about in, like, orientation sessions that are really important, like how to check out your music for ensembles. That's different at every school. It requires different things at every school, and the older students will know. So ask them, or like how recital scheduling works. There's a lot of things that older students are much more willing to talk to you about than your teachers, because your teachers aren't really interested in telling you how to go get your music. But like, if you get a junior or a senior or like a second year master's student to tell you how to check out your music, that's great. That's really, really helpful. Um, Am I on 7? I don't know, 6, 7. Okay, I don't care about the numbers. But the next thing is, if you're not a section leader, don't act as one, even if you're older, and especially if you're younger. Section leaders need the chance to be able to lead the section, even if they're younger than you or don't have as much experience. They need the chance to do it. If you want to help them out, do it in private, and do it just like, hey, I noticed you're, like, do it really casually, like, very, giving them, still give them the authority, just like, hey, I noticed you were struggling with this, would you maybe want me to help you out? Like, do you want me to give you some tips about that? Like, I don't want to use your position, but I had a similar experience and I knew that this helped. Things like that. Don't ever talk over them in rehearsals unless they ask for your opinion. Like, let your section leader do their job, even if they're struggling. Because think about it, you had to learn these things too. And how did you learn them? Probably through 1, watching other people do it, and then 2, doing it yourself and figuring out what worked and what didn't. So let them have that experience. Next thing is, show up to things on time. Like, obviously in a new school, it's very difficult to find your buildings and things like that. I like walking my schedule beforehand, but I'm a keener, so you don't have to do that, but make sure you know where you're going. And make sure, especially to rehearsals, that you show up on time. Especially to rehearsals. Don't be late to rehearsal. Just don't do it. And I think the last thing is practice. It's really, really easy to get caught up in the social life and the fun of music school because you're suddenly around people who love doing what they're doing and love doing what you do. And it's really easy to just stand around and talk and, like, spend lots of time drinking coffee with people who want to talk about music. But the thing is, you're there to practice. And yes, the social game is really important, and the social game can be really, really helpful. But sometimes you have to blow them off and go practice. And days off are fine. Delaying your practice a little bit sometimes is fine, but really you have to be diligent about practicing. It's just part of the game, part of music school. And I know that seems really obvious, but like 3 weeks from now, you're gonna see those days that just slipped by you because you were talking to someone and you lost your 1 hour to practice. And that can happen sometimes, and that's fine. But if you notice that happening all the time, then you need to change something. Practice is extremely, extremely important. And it's not something you should let slide by. Even if you think you're prepared, even if you think you're ready for your lesson or whatever, even if you have all of the rep you're supposed to be learning prepared, find something else to work on. You always, always have to consistently practice. Because the thing is, it's not unlike with academic fields where you can make up for a missed day by cramming. Music is about consistency. A missed day is a missed day. You cannot make up for that. It's fine. You can, like, breaks are good. I'm not saying you should be practicing every day of every single second of every day. Like, take breaks, take full days off. Like, even if you have the time sometimes in the summer to take a week off, that's totally fine. But, like, make sure that you do normal, consistent practice, because that's the only way you're going to build up skill. Practice binges don't help. It's the same way with studying, though. You can, like, make up housework. Oh my goodness, that's a transliteration of Dutch. I'm really sorry. But you can make up homework, you can make up papers, but you can't make up practice time. So do it. Yeah, that's what I have for now. I hope you guys have a great start to your year. Those of you in high school as well, I'm sure you started around now too. Or if you're just starting now, or you know what I mean. Have a great start to your year. I will see you next week. I cannot speak, but we all knew that already.